Guys, James here today and welcome back to another Sims 4 house building video. Now this is one that has been requested for a while and it's to build a starter home for 8 Sims. I think I built a few houses for 8 Sims before, but they were generally much bigger and much more expensive. This one you can buy right from the start of the game because when you have 8 Sims, I believe you start, I checked this, I think you start with like 34,000 simoleons. So you get a little bit more than if you start by yourself, which is useful because trying to build an 8 Sim home for 16,500 is pretty hard. But yeah, you get about $34,000. So I was able to get enough beds and all that into this house to make it functional. I was also able to detail quite a bit of it. Obviously, it is fairly basic looking because it is a starter. There's only so much I can do for 8 Sims, but I did my best. So there's a couple of rooms that have 2 beds in it, so that'd be, you know, rooms that the kids would share. And then there's a few other rooms that just have single beds in it. And then, of course, the double bedroom with the built-in wardrobe. So that's all good. One of the kids, unfortunately, gets the tiniest room as well, like the 2x4, but they do get a built-in wardrobe, so that's pretty good. And then, of course, there's this tiny little kitchen. Just at the very front right there is going to be the kitchen, the 3x3. So I actually really enjoyed doing this. It was something just a little bit more humble than usual, you know, just doing this tiny little build that could fit so many Sims. I wouldn't mind trying it out. I definitely wouldn't be able to handle playing with 8 Sims. Because I can barely handle 2 or 1. Usually, yeah, no, I really can't handle 1. But I think it'd be really interesting to play with 8 Sims in this house because it is so small. Like you will literally be in everybody's face all of the time. So I think it's kind of interesting that way. So I think it'd be kind of cool. Anyway, yeah. So this is one of the sort of more popular requests that I get. More often than not is to build starter homes for larger families, because I've done starter homes before, but they usually end up being for either 2 Sims, 1 Sim, or like 3 or something, maybe 4, but never 8. Never done an 8 Sim family starter home. So this is something new anyway, and something a little bit more low key, something that's accessible to all players that you can just load up and actually afford. Yeah. So at this point in the build, I wasn't actually sure how much money family start out with. So I was being really conservative with all the lights and all the beds and everything that I was using. I was using all the cheapest stuff because at this point I wasn't actually sure that you get any more than 16,500. I didn't actually know if you got more than that. So I was just trying to make everything as cheap as possible. But when we sort of cut the video later on, that's when I was like, okay, I should probably check how much you actually start with so that I can get, so I can build this to the accurate amount. I believe if, at least if you place it on this lot, because of course you can place it on different lots that will have different values. But if you place it on this lot, which I probably wouldn't recommend placing it here because this house does not fit in with Windenburg at all. Make no mistake, I didn't make this build in Windenburg to make it suit Windenburg. It was just an empty lot that I decided to build on. It does not match to Windenburg at all. So I would probably recommend placing it in, probably Newcrest would have a good lot for it. I think they have 20x20s in Newcrest. Maybe, I don't know, because you want to put it on a small lot, because the smaller the lot, the cheaper it's going to be, the more money you have. But anyway, what I was going to say, on this lot, it is, I believe you get about $2,000 left over if you buy this with 8 Sims. So you got a little bit of money left over, which is good, so you can afford the bills and all that as they come through. You can also afford to buy a few extra items if you need to. But this house does come with a pretty good starting kit, I think, because you get all the beds. I actually do manage to fit in a study with a computer as well. So there's a computer, there's a TV, obviously the full kitchen, the bathroom, and I also get in a guitar as well, I think, in one of the bedrooms. So it does come with quite a good range of things to start off with. Of course, mirrors as well. I thought I'd go with these pastel wallpapers, keeping it pretty simple, but just doing a little different shade in each room, just to sort of vary it a little bit, make it a little bit more interesting than just having the same color throughout. Though that's generally what I would probably do in this house, and also generally in real life, you'd probably have 1 or 2 colors in a house, not like every room a different color. But at the end of the day, it's The Sims. It looks better this way anyway. Sometimes just having a bit more liberty to do whatever you want looks a little bit better. So the bathroom, fairly cramped, 2x3, but you get the shower, toilet, and sink all in there, and a little bit of decoration as well, which is nice. You get the little sort of cabinet on the side and the toilet roll, of course. Now the kitchen, of course, very, very cramped. Would not recommend having more than 1 Sim in there at a time, but it does have everything you need. You got the fridge, the stove, the sink, the bin, and chopping up space. So it actually has everything you need. Now, the reason that the kitchen just has a hole in the wall to the rest of the living room is I did want it to be like a separate room, but Still at this point, I wasn't sure how much money I had and how much money I could use, so I kind of just left a hole in the wall instead of putting an archway because it was cheaper. Because if you think about it, it's way cheaper because you don't have to pay for the wall and you don't have to pay for the archway. You just demolish the wall, so you save money on both counts. I was like, okay, that could be a good idea. But then later on, I realized that I didn't have to do that. But I didn't change it. I left it as just a hole in the wall. So yeah, whatever. Anyway, so we got those two rooms at the end of the share rooms, and then there's those two single rooms there, and then the study. I was gonna do a nursery, but I didn't want to because I'm not good at doing nurseries, so I just did regular single bedrooms. But of course, you could use one of these rooms as a nursery. And that study is a good spare room as well if you want to put, because I put 2 desks in the study, but you could get rid of one of them and put in like an easel or put in a chess table or something like that as well. So that was kind of like a little spare room. I thought I'd build that into the house rather than having only bedrooms and a living room. Also, you'll note that there's actually no dining room in this house. But that's just because there was actually just no room. So we just didn't get around to do a dining room. I don't think it's essential. Like it's not necessary at all. Anyway, they can sit at the couch and eat. They can even sit in their rooms and eat. And I was like, yeah, it'd probably be fine to not worry about it. The living room also doesn't actually have enough seats to sit the whole family. I think there's 7. I can't remember if I put an armchair in or not. It depends if I put an armchair in the living room or not. Otherwise, it's 6 because we only have 2 3-seaters. But I don't know if I did an armchair or not. Anyway, decorating up the little bedrooms to make them a little bit more lived in, a little bit more detailed rather than just blank beds and nothing else. Because I realized that I had, a fair amount of money left over to sort of decorate it and make it look a little bit more interesting. So that was actually really good. So this is probably one of the more detailed starter homes that I've been able to do just because I've actually had more budget to work with and the house is actually quite small. So this is the tiny room, the smallest room that does have a guitar in it though. So I thought that was a bonus. And then there's like movie posters all over the wall in this room. I figured this would be like a teenager's room, but they kind of got, screwed over because while the other kids do have a bigger room, they are sharing. So they get their own room, but they get the smaller room. However, the one across the hall that has a single bed is like a 3x3. So whoever has that room is doing fine. But that's the room that I thought could be a nursery or something. So if you had babies, you could put them in there and just sort of repurpose the room. So anyway, yeah, but that teenager has a tiny room. So they have their own room though. So they have their privacy, which is nice. And that's something that shouldn't be scoffed at. But yeah, I was pretty happy with the amount of detail that I was able to actually get into this house. Mostly in these bedrooms at the back is kind of where most of the budget ends up going because I put in so many posters and little decorations here and there. The nursery / other single bedroom, I don't think that even has much in it. In terms of detail, I think I get the items in, but I don't think I detail it a huge amount. I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out in a minute because there's not much left in this video because it is a starter home. So like I said, it doesn't take that long. So that's quite good. And of course, as always, I should always mention this at the beginning of the video, but I always forget to. You can, of course, download this house on the Sims 4 gallery. You can click the link down below, or you can search for hashtag the Sim Supply or my origin ID, which is the Sim Supply as one word, and you'll find it there. So that'll be good. But yeah, I always find clicking the link is the easiest way because that will take you to the website. Assuming you are logged in on the website and you click download there, that will actually automatically download it next time you launch your game, which is really cool. Or at least as long as you're connected to the internet when you launch the game next time. So yeah, but that's a really cool feature. I like that. That's why I always provide the link to also make it easier. And even if you don't log in on the website, it'll at least show you the title and the description, so you'll be able to search for it a little bit easier and hopefully find it in game. Yeah, so I did a tiny bit of detailing in the double bedroom, but there's not much room in there. It was mostly a double bed and the wardrobe, which are both functional. I did test, so that's good. Every bedroom has curtains as well, which I was really, really happy with that I was able to afford that, which is good. But I don't think the living room does, and I don't even know if the bathroom does now, looking back at it. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so this is the other single bedroom, just getting some pretty basic furnishing like in the room. Nothing too crazy, because I don't think I had a lot of budget left at this point. And I also wanted to leave, yeah, I was just checking it. Every so often click up the top to check it. And I also wanted to leave some budget for outside, because outside looks super blank. Like the house, I'm going to be honest, looks pretty boring from the outside. But I think it's more about the inside of this house. Like it has room for everybody. And I think it's kind of interesting. It's cozy, like real cozy. Like you are gonna be in everybody's face in this house. It's gonna be real cozy in here. So I hope you like your family or whoever you're living with, because you're gonna have to deal with them, and they're gonna be in your face all the time because there's no room. Oh, I guess you could go to the study to get away, but that's about it. That's the only sort of other commonplace. Exterior, simple, but I like it. You know, it's fairly simple on the outside. I don't know why I did the fake chimney. I have no idea why I did that, but I think I just added a little bit of something to the outside. There's the kitchen. Pretty basic, but it has everything that you need. And then the bathroom, again, pretty basic, but has everything that you need. I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, this is a starter home, so of course it's going to be basic. It's not going to be super expensive, super lavish or anything like that. It has everything that you need. You know, it has room for 8 Sims to live here, whether they be family, friends, roommates, whatever. There's enough room. I really like that room. Like the tiny room, I think it looks really cool. That is the office there. I was going to have another computer, and I think I did put it in at one point, but it was like $800 for another computer. So I was like, there's no point. We might as well, you know, take it out and leave that as an empty desk space. Wow, those two rooms look really similar the way I took their screenshots, but they're completely different and in different positions. But anyway, anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time, and have an awesome day.